going to give people a chance to come on in, and sometimes people are a little slow, and then when they come in, they really come in. Yeah. So I hope y'all are doing all right. Oh, we're finally into Taurus season. Are y'all happy about that? Happy birthday, Tauruses and Taurus risings. Yeah, I'm gonna sage the place. I went out today, was running some errands, and I finally got some more sage and got a candle. I kind of held back. I just got one nice candle because I know where I can get them cheaper. And, you know, right now these days we got to be really cautious about that kind of stuff. You know, make sure that we're getting the best deal possible because every dollar counts, right? Look at that. Ooh, that one lights up real good. I don't know that I'm going to be, I did the tarot cards last time I went live, and I'm doing that on the new moons and the full moon. So, you know, next week we're going to have a full moon, and I'll do cards again my gosh, help me on that, you know, because that's going to be a new moon in Taurus. It's a solar eclipse. It's going to be conjunct my ascendant. Oh, I hope I make it. I hope I make it. We're just going to talk tonight, okay? And I see someone's finally here, and thanks for joining, whoever you are. But yeah, tonight is just chatting. Let's talk about how life's been treating y'all. How was Aries season? Are y'all glad to get out of it? Out of, you know, Aries season and into Taurus season. Hopefully things will, well, I want to believe that maybe possibly things can calm down, but then we're coming into all these eclipses, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm gonna get me a little something to knock the edge off. Right, today was not a bad day. Are y'all doing better? Because I posted recently on my community page, I think last week was rough. I don't know if it was, you know, because of that full moon in Libra on the 16th, which was last Saturday when I went live to do the readings. And I don't know, it wasn't hard on me on the 16th, but it hit me, stuff started hitting me the day after, and then definitely on Monday, Tuesday. And then I wanted to go live on Wednesday, but I'm like, no, gotta time out. And I saw that some of you commented on my community page about that and agreed that, yeah, the energy has been rough. And I don't know if it's because of eclipse season or if it's because of, you know, the moon making some nasty aspects to Black Moon Lilith and Ceres and Gemini. Let me know what y'all think, because some people, you know, we talked a little bit on the community page, but those of you who are here tonight, maybe you weren't part of that conversation, so I'd be interested in what you think, if this is something that is just going to pass. I hope it does. And I see that Sunshine is here. Thank you for joining. Sunshine says, hello, Stephanie. Aww. Hello to you too. Where are you from, Sunshine? Where are you radiating all that sunshine? I'm in Texas. Thank God we're finally getting some sunshine out here. It was kind of weird for a while. It was like, seemed like it was gonna be spring, and then it was winter, and then it was summer. Welcome to Texas, you know. But yeah, the last few days here in Texas, it's been like 98 degrees, if you can believe that. Hey, oh, Sunshine says I'm in Connecticut. Okay, so hopefully it's not that hot over there, right? I'm a Southern girl, though. I can take it. I can take it. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining. Well, see, Maureen is way, way up north in Canada. My gosh, how are you doing? How are you making it out there? I am like feeling so bad for the Canadians right now. So bad. Maureen, how is it going? She says, I hope today is better. Yeah, okay, so Wazy35 is saying, I need relationship advice. There is a girl who likes me, but we dance around asking each other out. What do I do? Thanks for your advice. Okay. Gosh. Well, I mean, I guess everybody's different. I think it just depends. Everybody's got their own little unique flow, because for me, I can be very direct, as an air sign, and I can just come right out and, say what I'm going to say. But because I've got so much feminine energy in me with my Pisces, I want to be pursued, And then with my Juno and Aries, I definitely need the opposite sex to be the assertive person. I need that person to initiate. And if they will do that, then I'm totally gonna like take a supportive Piscean, I'll be very receptive, right? But if it gets to a place where I'm really, really like into somebody and they won't initiate, I've tried to like initiate, and it usually, even if they feel the same, it usually doesn't end up working out, particularly in a male-female relationship. Usually when the woman ends up initiating, a lot of times, at least in my experience, the man will end up feeling emasculated. So I've kind of, even though I could totally initiate, I've learned through experience to just let that other person, again, in a heterosexual male-female relationship, me having so much feminine energy, I could totally initiate with my Mars in Capricorn, believe me, and I have. But if it gets to that level, it just doesn't work out. And so, I don't know. That's kind of all I can think of at the top of my head. Maybe tell me more if you, if I'm not hitting on something. Wazy is saying, I need to initiate. I'm good friends with her mother, so I get flustered. Oh, gosh. Well, feel it out. I mean, maybe just like talk to her and make conversation. What's your sign and hers? I'd say make conversation and feel it out, see what she's open to or what she's interested in. Learn her chart. Oh my gosh, do that. See, I'm one of those weirdos. I'll be like, yeah, so what's your birth date, time, and location? And I'm gonna look at the synastry and I'm gonna find out, like, is this actually gonna work? And in a sexual union, you need to be looking at the compatibility of their Mars and Venus placements to your Mars and Venus placements. Again, some people, maybe they don't value the chemistry that much, but I don't think that makes for a happy life. I don't think commitments can last that long if you don't have natural chemistry. Among other things, it takes more than that, right, to keep it going, but I definitely maybe see if you could talk about astrology and synastry and compatibility, and just start feeling out the conversation and seeing where it goes with this person. This is what I'm pulling off the top of my head. This is so not professional advice, right? They might be like, oh my God, you're such a weirdo. You're into astrology, and they're just running for the hills because they think you're like a tinfoil hat wearer. So I use your own discernment, okay? But again, for me, like, if you're gonna get weirded out from me asking that, we probably shouldn't be together. I can think of worse things to ask, all right? Trust me. But if that's gonna turn you off, bye-bye. Don't let me get in your way. Wazy is saying, thanks, you're the best, and I am a tinfoil hatter. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go back and look at some of these comments here. Sunshine says originally from Romania. Okay, could be warmer in Connecticut, yeah. And Maureen says it's been cold and raining. I bet. Maureen says, had some crazy days. Daughter got upset and blocked me for a couple days. She now has COVID and is sick, so reached out. Crazy, unstable emotions up and down. Yeah, Maureen, I am so sorry, that you had that fallout with your daughter, but I'm glad that it was temporary, right? And fortunately, COVID is recoverable for the most part. But yeah, so many ups and downs. I've been feeling it. That's what I posted about on my community page. It's too, I think it was the Aries stuff. And then even today, like by the way, got my part 3 of the April astrology up finally. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. What is today, the 21st or the 22nd? 21st. And I finally got part 3 up. And I was looking at it and I'm like, gosh, I was in such a Piscean Neptunian days when I made this. Like, it was so all over the place. And I'm going to try to get it more concise, but I think the energy just had people scattered and spread thin, and I don't know what. And then again, with the lunar energies over the last week, I feel like it's brought out a lot. And then depending on what's going on in your unique natal chart, like, I mean, for me, I'm getting at about that age where I'm coming into my Chiron return, which usually happens 51 years of age, roughly. I'm 47, so, it's still a while, but I'm not, Chiron is getting really close to my Chiron placement in my natal chart, and sitting right next to it is my Juno in Aries, and it was just like trigger city, like, God. And so if you got maybe your daughter or whomever in your life is going through some kind of difficult transit, what are you going to do? You just got to ride the wave, Oh, Wazy is saying I'm Taurus. Don't know her sign. Fantastic. Well, happy birthday, Wazy. To, my fellow Taurus, right? I'm Taurus rising, but Nun is saying, what's a tinfoil hatter? Oh, the crazy conspiracy theories that talk about things that they shouldn't be talking about on YouTube, or they get taken down and censored and demonetized. Those kind of people. Fellow tinfoil hat wearer. I've been one of those since the early 90s. I don't know. I think I was just born that way. Like, I remember when I was like 14 years old, I for Christmas, I said, I want the Time Life, what is it? Mysteries of the Unknown book series from Time Life Books. Do y'all remember that? It was this set of books that were black leather bound, and they were talking about the pyramids and the Bermuda Triangle and UFOs and metaphysics and, out-of-body experiences and crystals and all this stuff. And I was doing that at like 14 years old, or asking my dad to take me to a metaphysics bookstore in Houston, because my mom would totally not do it. Like, no, it's just too damn weird, but I was always one of those weird kids. And now I'm a weird kid in a grown body who gets censored on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know if y'all caught that I put out, the message video that I put out that I got censored. So FYI, from now on, those April astrology videos are going to be over on BitChute and Odyssey. And that's where I uploaded part 3, by the way. I got it up today, finally. So, and all this, like, Aries type of energy has me like, oh my God, just get to the point. This is so long and drawn out and redundant. Why did you do this? Like, I filmed this back during a lot of Pisces energy. It's pretty obvious, but I'm going to try to get it pared down. Anyway, let's see. Um, Nun says, hi, good to see you, Nun. And says, is that putting, yeah, okay, you've been there, done that, yeah. My mom was the weird one reading cards. Yeah, I don't know. See, both of my parents are Capricorn. And so like I don't and if you're Capricorn and listening, I'm not throwing any shade at you, but it's just in my experience. I think that probably obviously there's always exceptions, right? You got to look at the natal chart as a whole, but generally speaking, in my experience, I've had the hardest time connecting to earth signs on spirituality, metaphysics. You know, they might be able to do like religion, okay, but again, their experience of religion is kind of based on rules and rituals. It's not really having an experience, an existential experience. And so I don't know. I would just like, with my mom particularly, if I were to talk about spirituality, I would just get this deer in the headlights look, like, you know, like we're in the twilight zone, you know, like, well, this is far out. It's awkward. Can you get me out of this conversation? You know, it was like I was making her uncomfortable, which was making me uncomfortable. It's like, okay, so don't talk to this person about this. Sometimes I experience that with the fire signs as well. I usually don't have problems doing that with water signs, obviously. Occasionally it happens with air signs. But yeah, you know, being raised by two Capricorns, and I'm not entirely sure why my dad as a Capricorn was more open to it. It's just he was more experimental. I think because he had moved around a lot as a child, and you know, he was open to like eating different types of food, different types of things like that. And even though he's not really a spiritual person at all, it's just he also experimented with drugs a lot in the 60s and 70s and early 80s. So I don't know, there's something a little bit more open-minded about it, but at the same time, his second wife was an Aquarian. So, and that was, by the way, side note, I know I'm rambling right now, but 9 years old, and I discovered this book that his Aquarian ex-wife had in the house on near-death experiences, and I just dove into it. I was like so fascinated at 9 years old to read about near-death experiences. So I don't know, it's just he was open to it, but he wouldn't get weird about it, but at the same time, I mean, he wasn't like into it, you know. So yeah, none is saying brother and sister are Capricorn. I have basically I have discovered some really spiritual Capricorns on YouTube. There's this one reader that I don't know if y'all would be into him, okay? I'm into all kinds of odd people, okay? I'll just say it like that. Different people who you might not think I'd be into, but there's this reader out named is it the Galactic Goat Cody? He's a Capricorn, but he has like an Aquarius stellium. And this guy is like funny. Okay, he makes me laugh. He's quirky, he makes me laugh, but he's very different. I don't know that everybody would, like, I don't know that my audience would go for him. But if you just want somebody who's going to make you crack up and laugh and get some random, like he'll pull some random stuff out of the ethers, and I'm like, okay, just go with it. And I totally appreciate that. A lot of people would scoff at it and be like, what kind of BS nonsense is this? But for me, I'm like, all right, I mean, see what you come up with, you know? I'm cool with it. I'm open. And it makes me laugh personally, but the Truth Warrior is here. Thanks for joining, the Truth Warrior. And yeah, Truth Warrior is saying, I might have missed, let's see, yeah, lots of Cappy in her chart, Saturn, Jupiter, rising. Yeah. And Sigma is here. Good to see you. That's another familiar name. Says, hey, thanks for joining. T. Witten's here and says, what? I made a live chat? Yeah, congratulations. T. Witten made it. Oh, well, you haven't missed much, T. Witten. You know, we just started. We just started about 20 minutes ago. And I'm just, you know, it's open mic. So basically, you know, whatever y'all want to say, put it out there. We're just going to go with it. And I do confess I'm having a little something tonight to knock the edge off this energy, right? T. Witten saying, yay. And Mercy is here. Thanks for joining, Mercy. Wazy is asking, have you heard of Daniel Johnston? He was from Texas. No, where would I know of him from? Texas is a big state. You know, we could be our own country. I'd like to do that, actually. That would be cool. I'm totally down with secession, but apparently it's not happening. Oh, no, none is saying have one for me since I can't have any. Oh, you can't have any. I shouldn't have any. I shouldn't be having any. You know why? Because I'm trying to like get my diet clean again. Like I realized my face and my gut was puffing up again. And I'm like, what the hell's happening to me? And I realized it's because damn, I've been eating too many carbs. I've been carbing out and, you know, having these smoothies and fruit. And I was listening to Dr. Berg. He's got a channel here on YouTube. I don't know if y'all checked him out. Okay, he's a really good doctor. And he was talking about that, saying, you know, that's what like gives you this big puffy round face. And he did a side-by-side comparison. And he's like, yeah, if you get like the fructose from the fruit, the sugars and the carbs out of your diet, it, you know, you will like not look as heavy and inflamed and puffed up. And I was like, oh man, I gotta get back to that. But then, so I got back to it for about maybe, I don't know, a week. And then life happened, you know, Easter and candy and people coming around and getting invited to do this and just eating stuff I shouldn't. So yeah, none is saying alcohol turns into sugar in the blood. I know, it's like, I gotta stop it. I'm gonna like, I told my kids like, okay, I think I'm gonna clean it up by mid-May. I was in Natural Grocers today and I was like trying to get healthier food, but then I didn't leave with as much as I wanted to because these damn prices. And I don't know, I kept hearing this voice in the back of my head while I was looking at stuff, and I could hear this voice going, you know, that's cheaper over at Aldi's. So I move on and I find something else about, you know, that's cheaper over at Market Street. So then I just move on. It's like, it's just racking my brain that then tomorrow they're going to have a 3-day sale. So I'm like, I just come back and buy that cheaper tomorrow, you know, stock up. And it's like, okay, I'm going to get it together, damn it. But this inflation is crazy. None is saying if you have sugar, you get candida, then you crave the sugar. Absolutely. I thought for a while that I might have candida. I actually went on a candida cleanse, thought I was about to die. And then I took a gut biome test and it came back. I don't have candida. I'm usually a pretty good girl. Like I will sweeten my coffee with monk fruit or stevia. I do monitor the sugar pretty well. And the carbs, and I'm pretty much off of gluten, but it's just like, even I realized like, I don't know, like probably about 3 months ago, I stocked up on gluten-free pancake mix that was out of stock during COVID, and I saw it on clearance at Target. I'm like, oh my God, get it all. And then next thing I know, like I'm having this stuff every morning for breakfast, which is bad. Like I got a great deal on it, but after I started puffing up, I started thinking, damn it, why am I puffing up like this? All these damn carbs. And then you start the morning with it, and something in my spirit was like, you know what? Stop lying to yourself. Just because it says gluten-free doesn't mean it's carb-free. you know, it's gonna go right to your face and your gut, you know. So I'm trying to like lay off of it, you know, because if I wasn't eating that, I was having overnight oats, or I was having grits, you know, or I was having like Ezekiel bread. And again, you know, I try to buy the higher quality stuff, but it's still carbs. And I'm like, I got to stop this. I really got to stop it. I don't know why I lost a bunch of people. I don't, because I'm talking about healthy eating, and that's not, it's not satisfying to people. Okay, whatever. We'll change the subject. I see T. Witten's having a beer tonight, right? T. Witten is having a beer. Yeah, T. Witten saying open mic. Me might get mouthy. Yes, please do. Better you than me, because they'll want to censor me and take me down if I get mouthy. We know how that works here on this platform. By the way, my censored content is now over on BitChute and Odyssey and will be in the months to come. But I take it as a compliment that you censored me. I really do, YouTube. I just want to thank you. I feel that I have accomplished something in this matrix, because I was lied to for a really long ass time. And I was told that to be a success in life, it was, you know, to make a really, you know, high income and to get this big ass house and these cars. And like, man, what a fool I was, you know, to think that, because now I've realized the real accomplishment here is get censored on YouTube. You know, that means you've actually done something. That stands for something. Let me go back. Yeah, I'm going to start labeling all those videos in the coming months. I'm just going to slap a censored, you know, text on it so that people understand, like, this content is too hot for YouTube. They cannot handle this. It's just too much truth. Yeah, banned on YouTube, badge of honor. Twitter, T. Witten says. It almost looks like Twitter, but T. Witten, yes. None says Odyssey and what? Odyssey and BitChute. And by the way, Odyssey is spelled ODYSEE. ODY, and like seen through your eyes, okay? And BitChute is BITCHUTE. None thinks I'm funny. You know, look, None, it's either that or just cry. And trust me, I have, okay? Like, I think I'm out of tears at this point. No more. None's got it, BitChute. She wrote it correctly. Oh, Super Soak. Oh, thank you. Super Soak says you're definitely too hot. Thank you. I suspect there's a dual meaning there, but you know, I appreciate it. Super Soak. T. Witten says, beer are my carbs. I don't eat wheat or sugars. I'm 53 soon. I don't care anymore. Yeah, you sound like a girlfriend of mine who, I think she just turned 60 not long ago. And my gosh, she looks fantastic. But she's kind of like that too. She's like, I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. Just so done with it. I think that you kind of get that way where, right, the closer we get to that Chiron return at age 51, and we've already gone through the midlife crisis energy of 41 through 44 years old. I mean, by the time you get into your 50s, you're just like, who cares, you know, right? It's kind of like what my little rant earlier was about in saying, I'll blow that out. My little rant earlier is about, you know, what makes you a success in life. Is it all this stuff that society tells you that you believed in your 20s? And I've come to the conclusion, no. You know, it's all a farce. What makes you a success is that you do your mission in life, that you're true to yourself, you know yourself, and you are, you know, you're authentic and you honor yourself. And I think so many people are not doing that. And then when you do, like, oh, wow, we got to shut this person down. I hope this changes, by the way. My gosh, we need to change it. And that's partly why I'm going over to these other platforms. We need to stop. Like, I don't know how to get you guys off this. Like, I don't even know if it's possible. But in time, we need to like move off of these platforms and onto free speech platforms where people are free to be authentic. They're free to speak their truth. They're free to, you know, honor their truth. So, yeah, let's see. What is, okay, T Witness saying, what is your BitChute channel link? It should be in the description box. All my links should be in the description box. And I've also put it out. Yeah, you can find me under The Crowned Life. No spaces. The Crowned Life. So, yeah, I'm trying to go over these other platforms, and I'm hoping other people will join me. And I know it's going to be slow, but that's how it is. You know, when you pioneer things and you're the first one to do stuff, right? I mean, there's obviously other people over there, but it's not YouTube. But something's got to give. I mean, like, did y'all see what's going on with Twitter and Elon Musk trying to buy it out? And they were blocking him. Holy crap. I'm going to tell you something. I watched this documentary over the last week and a half talking about it. Oh gosh, I can't even say it here. I almost let it slip out of there's certain things you can't say on this platform. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a link for this documentary on my community page. Please watch it. It's, it's titled Who Owns the World? Okay. And it's on Rumble. Who Owns the World? And basically, this ties into the whole Twitter conversation because, yeah, these people own Twitter, okay? And they own YouTube, and they own, you know, all these. So, like, we have to get off this. These are controlled, you know, entities. So, but I don't know how to get people off of them, right? I mean, I will put links of my part 3 April astrology on my community page, but let's have an honest moment here. I'm going to tell you, as a content creator, it's very hard to get people to click the link to take them to another site. The conversion rate is very low. I'll put on there, you know, that this is part 3 and that it's free, it's of no charge. Just click the link, and I'll put links to BitChute and Odyssey. But the reality is, the majority of my viewers either are never going to see it, or if they do see it, they're just going to be like, oh, I'll watch that later, and then they'll forget about it. Or they're just like, no, I want to go watch another video on YouTube, and they won't leave YouTube, so they'll never see it. Yeah, T. Witten saying they own everything. They always have. Yes. Yes. And you know, I think like this documentary that I want to share with y'all is, I mean, I've known about this stuff for, like, I knew they own everything. They own the 99%. I've known about this a long time. Okay. Like, I've been awake since the early 90s. I mean, I was watching Alex Jones when he was on Austin Access Cable back in the early 90s, okay? Like, I've been awake, all right? But the thing is that the way that this documentary explains it, he really goes into detail and quantifies it beyond any argument. I mean, he makes it so blatantly obvious, like you can't deny how far reaching, and you can put a name on it and you can identify it and you can see how far reaching it is. And I don't know, I've just never really, even though I've known this, I didn't know it at the depth that is explained in this documentary. It to me, it was so profound that after I watched, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to share this with my audience. People need to see this. They need to share it with their friends and family, because then you start understanding how far-reaching the shadow government is, the hidden power structure, how they've got their tentacles and everything. And it's like, you wonder why. I don't know, have y'all, I want you to tell me, have you felt this in your life? Like there's some glass ceiling, and let's not say this is about, you know, feminism or the patriarchy. Let's not do that, right? It's beyond that. It's like, even if you were a man, a white man, as the left likes to say, has special privilege, right? Even so, I mean, you would come across this ceiling, right? You come across this, like, I can only go so far. Yet you see other people, like the Zuckerbergs, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, or I don't know, even like Tesla. Even though, like, I'm kind of, I don't, again, I would like to see him buy out Twitter, but I'm not 100% Tesla. Anyway, the point is, it's like you see certain people, there's no ceiling for them. I don't know how, you know, because I felt this ceiling all my life, and I've blamed it on the astrology. But the more I get to know about this hidden invisible government, this power structure, I'm like, no, there's more going on here. There's actually economic suppression going on. Like there's so many structures in order to keep your ass down and in your place. And I know some people are kind of be like, oh, you know, you need to stop blaming and take responsibility for your life. You know, like, I feel you, but I've done that for a long time, okay? And I've done the hard work, you know, I got the degrees. You know, I fill in the blank, and there's always this damn ceiling no matter what I do. And so I wonder if y'all have felt that. Have you felt like there's some block or limit on what you're able to accomplish financially in this matrix? Because I felt it for a long time. And the more I see videos like that, documentaries like that, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. It so makes sense. Maureen is saying, I just watched The Family on Netflix, was quite an eye-opener. What is The Family? Is that the documentary on the Johnson & Johnson family? I don't know. I think that might have been called something different, The 1% or something. That I watched that documentary. That was an eye-opener too. I don't even know if it's around anymore, but yeah, one of the heirs of the Johnson & Johnson family did a documentary and showed what goes on inside their family, and that was pretty deep, like how they think and it's very different from middle class, whatever. T. Witten saying, yeah, please remember to put the link on the community page. I think I have seen it. The owners are above planetary. Thousands of dollars of years invaded long ago. Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so this documentary that I'm talking about that's on Rumble, it's called, it's called Monopoly. Something about the real owners. Or Who Owns Everything. Monopoly, Who Owns Everything. It's on Rumble. I'll put the link, T. Witten. But basically, it's an hour long, this guy is very on point. He does an excellent job. But he's apparently going to be releasing more where he talks about the families, the bloodlines, and how this was all established centuries ago. And he's going to go even deeper as he creates more content. So I'm really looking forward to this. And all right, Maureen is saying, no political control of all USA leaders. Yeah, I would love to watch that. I hope you would like maybe share, I tell you what, when I share my link of the documentary, I will ask for y'all to share your links to documentaries that you recommend, because I'm kind of nerdy like that. I like to watch documentaries. I'm not really into movies because I know it's all fake, and particularly here in America, the Hollywood stuff is so predictable. I mean, very rarely am I wowed by a movie because a lot of them kind of follow the same script. It's really predictable. So anyway, if you know of a good documentary, please put it on my community page in the comments when I post the link to my documentary. Marina's saying you need to get Netflix. Okay. Actually, I have a family member who has Netflix, so I'll try to take advantage of that. Although I heard they've lost a lot of money in recent days because oddly Elon Musk made a comment about how they're going broke because they went woke. Which I think is probably true. Like they got a lot of woke content on there, and so their views are really down, and their stock went down, and now they're saying they're going to try to crack down on people sharing passwords and stuff like that. So yeah, I will check out Netflix. I don't know for how much longer, but Maureen says it's a series, not a movie. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And T Witness saying that she will leave a link on comments on YouTube, but gets shadow banned. Oh, if she does, she'll get shadow banned. Yeah, T Witness saying anti-Netflix, anti-TV. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I needed to find something on Netflix, I would, but I usually don't. I mean, but like I said, somebody in my family has it, so I could easily access it if I wanted to. But I am concerned that Netflix is getting into all this wokeism, and yeah, I don't want to be part of that either. But I do think, Maureen, this is very fascinating, what you're talking about. I was just talking to a Canadian on Twitter a couple days ago because there's some weird stuff going on over there. I don't even know if I could talk about it on here, but stuff having to do with, military aircraft getting serviced out in Canada, and people doing some research on this and finding out that it's SOROS funded. Yeah, and the government's just like, and I commented on this person's post, and I told her, I said, look, I feel really bad for what y'all are going through, because I mean, it's like, I know the same thing's going on over here, if not worse. It's all the same. It's just in Canada, they are like so in your face, cocky, and unapologetic. They're so smug. Like, I don't even know how the hell y'all put up with that, okay? Like, God, I just don't even know how. Like, oh, I don't even know how y'all put up with it. See, over here, they know, like, if they were to come at us like this, well, we're armed, and we're not nice people. You know that. We're not nice people. I'm the descendant of a revolutionary fighter, okay? So we're people who we'll put that in check real quick, okay? We're not kind, nice people, but y'all know that. Y'all know that in Canada about us Americans. So what they do instead of it being smug, like the Canadian government, is they play it off like they have dementia. They're dementia patients. Oh, we don't know what's going on. I have no clue what you're talking about, Or maybe they'll let you believe that Nancy Pelosi is drunk, Or is she suffering from dementia? Who knows? You know, we have all these 80-year-olds running our country, so it's kind of plausible. It's kind of plausible. Maybe they don't know what they're doing. It's a good show, you know? So I think that people are trying to go easy on them because they're like, I think there's still some people that are thinking, well, I don't know, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe they are incompetent, you know? Well, you know, just go easy on this person. Maybe they have a health problem. And I think it's a game. I think it's all a game. I really do. T Witness saying we didn't win the American Revolution. Yes, that's a conspiracy theory I've heard about. T Witness, if you want to share your thoughts, please do. But I think that there's been some conspiracy theories that the British royal family got back America during the Civil War through Lincoln, which I hate to, you know, even entertain the thought of, because my birthday is the same day as Abraham Lincoln. So I really, as a U.S. president, I really I want to like Abraham Lincoln, but these theories are that he secretly sold us out to the British monarchy during the Civil War. So again, not saying for or against, these are just rumors. What do I know? Like, I certainly wasn't alive back then, right? But yeah, Maureen's talking about liberal government. LOL, yes. Wazy is saying, shouldn't Biden and his age cohorts be retired? Why are they still in charge? Yeah, I mean, that's what I said in my astrology videos that I put out that got censored, that are over on BitChute and Odyssey. I mentioned this in part 2 and part 3. Like, why? Most of these, like, you should be at home enjoying your grandkids. These are your golden years, you know? And any really good leader will, at this point, mentor and pass the torch. The fact that they're not mentoring and passing the torch is very, to me, concerning. It's not just indicative of bad leadership, but it's also indicative that you are hiding something. You do not want somebody to come in and have an intimate understanding of your dealings, your network, because they might find something out. You know, like I use the analogy of like a serial killer who has buried its victims in the backyard. Well, you can't sell that house, because what if somebody then moves in and they find that graveyard in the backyard? Like, you're a slave to that. You can't leave. And I wonder if that's why they never retire, because they don't want to be alive when those secrets come out. Okay, so T Witness saying congressional records, U.S. is a corporation even before 1871. Oh yeah, I've heard this, right? We're corporate persons. If you look at birth certificates, our names are typed in all caps, which is legalese. We are a, how do you say? We are not private citizens. We're not sovereign citizens. It's like each human on the birth certificate is regarded as, gosh, some of you need to do search this on a legal straw man. Okay, what they do is they are, yes, chattel, T. Witten says, right. So basically, I don't entirely understand it, but they found some legal way through the birth certificates and all of these death certificates, marriage licenses, blah, 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 to regulate people as if they are not sovereign persons, but they're basically, chattel that is traded basically on the stock market. I don't entirely understand it, so, you know, don't quote me on it. Study it. It's legal straw man, and then it will make more sense to you than what I'm going to make here. I don't really right, like I'm exposed to these things, I'm aware of them, I take it with a grain of salt. But this is how they have gotten basically ownership of us without us even, it's through ignorance, consent of the governed. We people went along with this ignorantly how many generations back? And now you don't even know you were born into slavery. Yeah, T. Witten saying we are property franchises of the corporation. Yes, absolutely. And so again, you can believe it or disbelieve it. That's your prerogative. I don't really care. It's like, I'm not trying to convert anybody here. Believe what you want. But it's an interesting theory and in my opinion, plausible. If it is in fact 100% true, as I suspect it is, it's disturbing. It really is. It's very disturbing. And it kind of lends credibility to this idea that you're not, freedom is an illusion. It's all an illusion. We're being led to believe that we're free when we're actually not. And again, more I study these things, like with the documentary I was telling you about how little we own and why my entire life fed these lies. Well, if you just go to school and you get a degree, get in debt, then you'll have a good paying job. And if you have a good paying job, then you're gonna have a nice house and nice cars and everything you want. And and it didn't work out like that for me. I mean, I know people who even like say, a lady friend of mine went to school in the medical field, became a registered nurse, and she's like, my God, I mean, yeah, technically I'm making good money in the grand scheme of things, but with 3 kids and a husband who was not reliable financially or responsible, I mean, she was barely breaking even. So, and that's with like a college degree. Like, why? People got to know something is wrong, especially if they look at the bigger picture and, where we're at now with the monetary system versus the 70s, when you could have bought a house and nice cars on, a high school diploma is really all you needed. You didn't need all these computers and these, tech devices and these expensive phones and these apps, to fill out your online applications and yada, 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 like all these hoops that we jump through just to like break even. It's ridiculous, and now, my God, with the inflation, don't get me started on that. It's just getting worse. So Wazy is saying, I've been a teacher and always thought, let the kids have their say, meaning let the young run the country. It's their future. Yeah, I mean, I think the problem, though, with this is that they're brainwashing them. I call it the public fool system. They're brainwashing. And by the way, I worked as a teacher, I worked as a substitute teacher at Austin Independent School District. So, and I saw, I mean, it's awful. Hi, Sterling Silva. So Sterling Silva is saying, hey, from England. Hey, back at you. How's it going over there with Boris? Are you enjoying things over there? But yeah, back to the teaching and all of that. I mean, I even wrote a piece years ago about the public education system, and people really do not understand, that the ignorance is all on purpose. Like, people don't understand the monetary system, and there's a reason why. That our educational system was founded by wealthy industrialists at the turn of the century, and they designed it based off the Prussian model, which is Russian, okay? Russian indoctrination system. And so they modeled it after that design, okay? But they did it with the specific intent that they were going to create good little worker bees, people who would be smart enough to follow orders, but not smart enough to question them. So they would make good employees for these industrial corporations. So it was, again, a way to like keep people, because, you know, down in their economic status that they were born into, so they couldn't really transcend because of ignorance, not understanding how to be a business owner. Right? They don't teach that. Like, when is the last time you've heard of the public school system, you know, putting out entrepreneurs? No, they're trying to talk to you about getting your SAT or whatever to get into college, to get into debt to the banks, so that you can, you know, go get a job and work for some corporation. That's like, this is the entire system, to get all these little worker bees to build their kingdom. And you're never taught how to be an entrepreneur, a business leader. You're not taught about the economy, to understand that inflation is hidden taxes, to understand that monetary printing, quantitative easing rather, it causes devaluation of currency, which causes inflation, which is basically hidden taxes. Like, they want people stupid about this stuff, you know? I mean, I could go on a whole rant about that, but suffice it to say, you know, the ignorance is on purpose. And it's to keep people in their place. Sorry, my Aquarian is very much showing right now. You know? Okay. Wazy, let's see. Oh, T-Witness saying, it doesn't matter how much you make, they control how everything costs. They control all sides. Absolutely. And the documentary I'm going to share with y'all on my community page shows that. You know, right? They own the CVS and they own the Walgreens, and they're right across the street from each other. You know, they own all the banks. You know, I mean, you can't run from these people. Like, all these major social media platforms, they own them, right? So if you go to some place like Odyssey BitChute, where I'm putting my censored material, those are not owned by them. Well, hopefully not yet, you know, or never, but definitely not yet. They're not. But I don't know. Maybe if they get big enough and people go over there, they'll try to buy them out too. But in reality, you know, the people that are marketed so that they can get the audience and they can get the revenue, they have that backing to start with. So it takes sheer willpower to say, you know, I'm going to make a conscious decision to build on other platforms that I know are not going to be popular, because they're not being funded by the people who have got the budgets to make them popular, if that makes sense. Wazy is saying, I taught college and instilled in my students the necessity of freedom, which leads to creativity. Without freedom, creativity is stifled. I think that's great. And I think that your point is spot on, Wazy. But I feel like right now, especially with the content creators on these platforms, what creativity are they supporting and encouraging? It's this kind of low frequency Jerry Springer BS. I mean, do you see it on this platform? And if it's not that, then they're promoting the creativity of the major networks that are frankly dying. People don't want to, right? Did you see CNN is having to shut down CNN Plus? That was in the news today. They can't get subscribers. They cannot get subscribers. Apparently they had I think a $300,000 budget, and they couldn't even get 100,000 subscribers. Like, that wouldn't even happen if it was you or I trying to launch some business. We don't have $300,000 to throw away. How do these people have it to throw away? You know? And all their numbers are in decline, by the way. The only reason they're getting any kind of views is because YouTube is promoting them. It's getting so sad when I come on here and I search for news. Who comes up first on the engines? All these professional prostitutes. They're getting promoted by YouTube. That's how they're getting views. Nobody really wants to watch them anymore. And it's getting infiltrated, you know? So, yes, creativity is being stifled because there's no freedom. And then the lack of freedom is being shown not just in the censorship, but also in the algorithms that are putting other people at the front of the line on purpose, you know. I see Greg Conley has joined in. I haven't seen you in a while, Greg. I hope you're doing okay. I know you were out in California for a while. I think you moved out, was it Tennessee? I don't know. My memory is kind of rusty. So how are you doing? How are you doing, Greg? Sterling is saying, haha, he's turned us into a circus. I think we're talking about Boris, right? He's turned us into a circus, but it's still not as bad as the poor people in Ukraine. I'm going over there in a few days to help as a medic. How is it viewed over there? How is it viewed over there? Oh, okay. So, well, I mean, people are just kind of cracking jokes with him. Can I just say this side note about Boris? When I see videos of this man, I'm like, dear God, can't you afford somebody to comb your hair right if you can't do it yourself? Like, somebody get this man a comb. Like, what is his problem? Can you explain that to me? I know it's not a cultural thing, right? Because other people from the UK can comb their hair, but this guy can't. I don't know what his problem is. And then, of course, you know, he's in with the cool kids crowd. You know, he's in with the World Economic Forum peeps. So this guy's got to step down like the rest of them. But yeah, on the Ukraine thing, you know, you should probably, like, if you want to know how it's viewed over here, I don't know. I'm kind of an oddball because I'm on Twitter a lot, and I have been fortunate to have kind of curated a nice little collection of people that I follow on there that are awake, not woke. And so I realize that I'm in a bit of a bubble in terms of I see news that a lot of people are not seeing, because I've been connecting with these people on Twitter since I think 2014. And I realize, like, other people who go on Twitter or, you know, wherever, they just don't know, like, who's who in the awake movement. So for me, you know, when I go on Twitter and I'm look at stories about Ukraine, I am not seeing what a lot of you are seeing. I'm seeing people who, you know, I'm seeing the propaganda. I'm seeing people who are blowing the whistle on propaganda that's going on out there. I am seeing people talking about how essentially this is a war between the, it's a banker's war is basically what it is. I'm hearing people say that, you know, snitch on Z guy. I'll just say Z guy. All right, that's my code word. I got to come up with code words, you know, on this platform so I don't get censored. Z guy is part of the World Economic Forum and related to SOROS. Again, another name we're not allowed to mention on here. Yeah. It's like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And neither am I, okay? And I get to hear about all the how do we say, why can't I think of that name? Money laundering. And the BIO, LABS, that was funded through the laptop from hell. Yes, from you-know-who's son. And that didn't exist prior to the election, but now it's coming out that, I'm sorry, not that, the selection, yeah. I'm not talking about that other thing. I'm talking about a selection here, okay? See, I'm going to get this together. My Aquarian's struggling, all right? Because my Aquarian's like, that's the word, put it out there, But I'm having to slow my roll and be like, no, you got to come up with a whole nother vocabulary, a whole nother vernacular, Stephanie. Because you can't say that. You got to say Z guy. You got to say, selection. I'm going to get this together, people. I really am. Yeah, Sterling is saying, Boris looks like he's always just woken up from a general anesthetic. I know, like, what, is somebody not going to help him with that? I mean, you can't tell me that this guy doesn't have the resources. Like, nobody in his entourage is going to say, hey, could we help you? Like, let's give you a makeover. I mean, what the hell? I don't understand why you would go out looking like that and you want people to take you seriously. See, this is another thing. We're talking about the ceiling that exists. And I felt it all my life. Like, if I tried to apply for a job looking like that, how far do you think I would get? Maybe in this day and age, you can get a little bit farther, okay? But when I was coming up, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you would not get a job looking like this. How does this dude run a country presenting himself this way? Nobody would take me seriously or any of you seriously back in the day, but and again, he's old enough to understand this. But see, this is what blows my mind. Like, how do these people get promoted in life? How do they get raises? How do they get reelected? It doesn't make any sense other than it's all fake. That's what makes sense to me. Because in my reality, I don't get raises and promotions. Showing up to work looking like I rolled out of the bed or I just came out from under the knife at the hospital. I don't know how these people keep getting advanced unless there's something else going on here behind the curtain, right? But we're on YouTube, so pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. They'll tell you what the misinformation is, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me go back. I think that I missed some comments here. Greg saying, yes, Nashville now. I hope you're doing well out there, Greg. I hope that it's working out for you. And I'm glad that you got out of California. I just, California, sweet Jesus. Stuff going on. I've been hearing stuff about Skid Row. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the streets of Seattle. Video footage showing what's going on in these cities. Oh, terrible. I'm glad you're out of there. Wazy is saying lack of freedom is how civilization meets its end. Yes, I agreed. Sterling Silva says he makes Trump look like a genius. Oh God, yes, absolutely. I have to agree with that. T. Witness agreeing, saying exactly, George Carlin, you have owners. I mean, I feel like, see, this is the thing, like, I wish, can we just say, I really wish the whole BLM woke crowd would get off of this. Like, can we, like, fast forward to 2022? Like, if people would just wake up, get rid of this woke shit, you would, like, move on from slavery that happened. What? How many? Oh God. I think it's we got out of segregation in the 1950s. Okay, but then I think slavery was like I don't know. Somebody throw a date out there. My brain is like sketchy, but it's been over 100 years, roughly. I think that we've been out of slavery, Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, and my apologies if I'm, but anyway, my point is, can we look at the current slavery going on here? Can we do this? Can we talk about it? Because the current slavery, it has nothing at all to do with your color or your ethnicity. We're all slaves. And if you can't figure that out when you go to the gas pump or you pay for your groceries, I mean, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, what more do you need to know? Okay? What else can I tell you that hasn't already been said? I mean, many of you working like dogs to break even. And it's not supposed to be like this. This is not normal. This is like classic modern day feudalism, right? If you like, I know the slavery term has a, right, we, especially in America, has a very bad, history to it. But let's go even farther back to feudalism, where we had peasants living on the king's land. And you would work like a dog then, and the peasant would pay for the house that they're living in on the king's land. I mean, the king owned everything. They owned your job, they owned your home, everything. And so, like, can people not connect the dots that this is modern day feudalism? This is modern day slavery. And all of this World Economic Forum stuff going on where they're saying, by 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Oh, well, hey, wait a minute. Who else owned nothing? Peasants? Slaves? How do you not compute this? And we're moving towards it. We're moving towards this right now with the economy. Greg is saying Sorts, who I think you mean to say SOROS, right? Donated $500 million in my college, Bard College, Aquarian Unite. Yeah, Greg is a fellow Aquarian. We got the same birth date. Yeah. The same, right? Day, month, year, right? Even though he's born up north, but so yeah, definitely united on that. But yeah, I mean, when these people come in and they donate so much money to these universities, these institutions of higher miseducation, to learn about liberal arts training. They don't call it liberal arts for nothing, okay? You got to be a liberal by the time you get your ass out of there, okay? That's all on purpose. I don't know. It's just, it's right under your nose. It's in plain daylight, but people can't connect the dots for some reason. Wazy is saying actual lack of morality is how civilization meets its end. I have to agree with both of you, Wazy and who else said that? Oh no, Wazy is saying lack of freedom and lack of morality. I agree. I think this is another thing going on in the higher miseducation system, the public fool system. Is there's no moral compass. I mean, this is what you're getting at. Like, these people are so damn lost that are coming out of these institutions. There's no moral compass at all. And I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Jordan Peterson who, well, he's not a professor anymore from what last I heard. He got out of that. But he said that if you don't have a moral compass, you are not going to be able to keep yourself out of trouble. You're not going to be able to protect yourself. You're going to engage in things that are damaging to yourself and other people. You've got to have some kind of moral compass, but they don't teach that anymore. And so these people they're highly educated, but they don't have any discernment. They're not able to discern right from wrong, to say, oh, wait a minute, this person's gaslighting me. Maybe something's off here, or, oh, I could say so much about that. I'm going to not go off topic. I think you understand. Sterling is saying, when you think of the people in charge of the world powers Biden, Boris, and Putin. That's scary. Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, I did see that they scrubbed Putin off of the World Economic Forum's website. So he was associated with the global governance crew, okay? That Trudeau and Biden and, you know, all these other people, they're associated with all these puppets, you know. He was associated, but I guess, I don't know, he doesn't, I haven't entirely wrapped my head around what's going on here. And we've got to, like, and I'm real cautious about it too, because I feel like there's a lot of political theater. And so, again, we just know that at some point he was associated with the World Economic Forum. They have distanced themselves from Putin, you know. Is that for show, or is that for real now? Are they having, again, some banking war or global governance war, or is this all for show so that they can, oh God, you want to hear my theories on that. Like I'm telling you, like the mind is like, I got some ideas. All right. And I'm really cautious about it. I do feel like Russia has a right to run their country like any country, run it how you want to run it. And I do see that if they're concerned about the US setting up BIOLABS near their border, I would want to defend that too. If that was my country, like I can follow that train of thought. And, you know, especially if that nearby country is known as the world's, you know, money laundering capital, you know. I mean, I can follow the train of thought again with Putin and everything, but I'm going to say this, like on that whole Ukraine thing, I wouldn't go volunteer for it, okay? I'm sorry, Sterling Silva, you know, to each their own. If you feel led to do it, who am I to stop you, right? But from the people who have volunteered themselves to go over there, they've gone over there and found out that it's not what they were led to believe. And they've put out messages on social media to say that it is a nightmare and they're just trying to escape with their lives, okay, to get out of there. And so a lot of propaganda going on, and I'm kind of the belief that if these people want to fight each other, then they can go fight each other. Like, can we go back to the old days when, you know, kings who decided to go off into war, you know, you'd have these warrior kings who would be on the front lines with their men. They wouldn't send other people to go do it. Like, oh, you go fight, and you send your kids and your sons to go fight. No. You want to fight, you go. You and your kids go on over there. Shit, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on. Y'all have some BS, and the longer this goes on, the more BS is coming out, especially about that laptop from hell. That's what I'm calling it from now on. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the laptop from hell. Do y'all know about the laptop from hell? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, T. Witten is saying 13th and 14th Amendment made us all slaves. Voluntary. Oh, yes. Voluntary, you know, kind of like the JAB, the clot shot. I mean, you don't have to work here if you don't want to get that shot. It's voluntary. Right. The next thing, well, I mean, if you don't want to get food stamps and welfare and public housing and UBI, universal basic income, I mean, you don't have to get the shot. Yeah, it's like voluntary. This is the kind of voluntary. It's like people need to learn the difference between voluntary and coercion, because it seems that there's been some kind of mental disconnect. Wazy's saying yes on the laptop. Okay, so let me go back. I've missed some comments here. Greg is saying it's all true. Thank you. Sterling Silver is saying it. I'm supposed to be going to California soon. Should I be canceling that? Oh my God, California. What a dump. And please understand, if you are from California, I am not hating on you. My people are from California. Okay? I descend from people who went out there during the California gold rush in a covered wagon. Okay? I am not trashing on Californians, but the governor of California, the economy of California, sweet Jesus, run for your life. It's like the USSR out there. It is horrible. My uncle died out on the streets in California. Homeless. I've told this story before. That's a whole nother, I'll save it for another time. But I mean, you see all the homeless people all out there. And that happened to him as early as, that was early 2018. 2018, that happened to him. So I'm sharing this with y'all to say, listen, this has been going on for a long time. And you see how bad it is now with all these homeless encampments out there. It's economic warfare that's going on. Like, this is what I was saying in my censored astrology videos, part 2, part 3, where I'm talking about the economy and the politics and all of that YouTube doesn't want me talking about. I discuss how we are in a war right now. And this is not your grandpa's war. This is a war that is being fought through information warfare, biological, psychological. And people think that, economic. And people think that because there's not a soldier on their, front door with a gun, that there's no bombs raining down in their backyard. They think they're not in a war. Check your bank account, okay? Figure that out. Like, you're being pillaged. You're being pillaged. But people don't even know how to recognize. Let me go back. Like, they can't recognize that they're being attacked because they're being sold stories. And the ignorance, like if people understood basic economics, they would know what happened and what's going on. They wouldn't fall for these lies. Sterling is saying both in the US and the UK, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Yeah, that's been going on for a long, long time. Wazy says, someone once said, only true progress is moral progress. Yes, that's a good quote. Sterling Silva is saying Russia has every right to defend themselves, but it has no right to kill innocent people who just want to live. I will happily die defending freedom against soldiers who have been proven to be raping. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel you on that note, okay? But there's been a lot, and I'm not taking sides on, I think there's crooked stuff going on both sides, okay? So I just want to caution you, though, to really investigate these stories, because I've seen, I might put it out. If I can find it, I might share it on my community page. So much propaganda. I'm not saying the Russian military are, godly, saintly men. Please do not misread me when I say this. But there have been some mischaracterizations. There have been... it's come out that some of the reports are false. I don't know why you're being retracted, Sterling Silva. I'm not doing it. I don't know who's doing it. Okay. But yeah, they found images and video being used from other wars, and then they're pinning it on this current one. And people are like, whoa, that's an image coming from this other, how many years ago, warfare going on in Yemen or wherever, Syria. And people are like, what are they doing here? This is like propaganda. Or they even had one video footage, and somebody was like, wait a second, that is from a video game. And they proved it. Like, what I'm telling you, you have to like be careful. There's a lot of propaganda, you know, and then there were reports that a hospital was being bombed by the Russians, and then other reports coming out saying that, yeah, that was true, but actually that hospital had, and the mall had long been evacuated and taken over by the Ukrainian military. So again, like, what's going on here? And I am not taking sides at all. I am simply saying we don't know. I'm an American, not a Ukrainian or a Russian. I don't live there. And I just know that the media is not trustworthy. That's really all I know for sure. And T. Wood makes an excellent point in saying all wars are bankers' wars. Absolutely. I mean, that's been going on for generations now. Generations. I'm trying to remember who wrote that. God, War is a Racket. What is his name? Ex-military, and he talks about a very high-ranking U.S. military, retired, and he talks about how it's all bankers' wars. It's all bankers' wars, and they're using the propaganda to get the consent of the governed. It's manufactured consent, so that you give your life to their cause. You give your children's life over their cause. You give your money, your tax dollars, you go along with the inflation, the hidden taxes. You go along with basically being pillaged financially and losing your own children for a banker's war. And basically what I'm hearing is that what's going on in Ukraine is a proxy war between the United States and Russia. Again, I am not saying one way or another. What do I know? I just said, you know, I don't know why I'm hearing fools Russian where angels dare to tread, or dare not tread, if I'm butchering that. Sterling is saying that, let me go. Oh, I just gotta say, Sterling, you had several messages retracted, and I did not do that. I don't know who's doing that at YouTube. I don't know what you said, like if you can write code. Sterling says the Brits and the American soldiers did just as bad to people in the Middle East. War seems to cover up evil, sexual and demonic treatment of just innocent people who are scared and want to live in peace. Totally agree with you. Absolutely. Please understand that I was supporting Ron Paul back in I found out about him in the 2008 selection. Yeah, I'm not talking about that other thing. YouTube analyst, moderator. We're just talking about selections. Okay? Move on. I'm talking to the moderators at YouTube. Okay. During the 2008 selection, I started learning about Ron Paul. By 2012, I was gonna, vote for him until I realized it was all what I can't say over here. Okay, so yeah, I have to be careful because that's how I got censored, talking about that very subject. Okay. Anyway, the point is, Ron Paul is against foreign entanglements. He's anti-war. And probably why they blackballed him so bad in the media, because, I mean, well, we can't do that. We can't have the military industrial complex getting defunded. I mean, no way, So, I mean, I'm totally with you. Like, all of this warfare has to stop. And I think that there have been some polls showing that most Americans are tired of it. They don't want any part of it, right? Like, think about it. Currently with this Ukrainian conflict, there are not, like, we haven't sent actively engaged, like, we haven't sent our troops over yet. There are reports coming out, even in recent days, that our money is getting sent over there. Weaponry is getting sent over there. This is all being done against the will of the people, because the people by and large are done with this. We are tired of this. We figured out the game. You know, they've lied to us how many times, which I talk about in my part 2 and 3 April astrology videos that are censored here on YouTube and put over on Odyssey and BitChute. I talk about how they lied about all these wars. Remember the weapons of mass destruction? Bullshit. All bullshit. How many people died? Americans have figured it out and they don't want any part of it yet. So they're not going to take it to vote because they'll not get it to pass. So what they're doing is, rather than taking it to vote, you know, he's sending off support. And it's like, my God, who's running this country anymore? It's not we the people. Yeah, Greg is asking, do you remember the Putin soccer ball? No, I do not. I don't remember that. Sounds funny, though. Can we get a Biden soccer ball and a Trudeau soccer ball? And, you know, can we get that other guy, Schwab, basically, Klaus Schwab. Yeah, let's get a soccer ball for that guy, too. That would be cool. Get some anger out, right? Sterling is saying that the best thing is that love will eventually overcome this evil, because even though it may sound corny, it's true that love destroys all evil. I like that. I like that. You know, I think you're right. I absolutely think you're right about it. But yeah, what else can we talk about tonight? We're about an hour and a half in, it looks like. And you know me, I could talk politics forever. I have so much of my natal chart is in the 10th house. I think that's why I'm so much into like talking about governments and multinational corporations and stuff like that. You know, I just could do it. You know, I could do it all day long. Maybe not a good thing, right? I try to balance it out, talk about spirituality sometimes. But it seems like Sterling Silva was making a really good point about love and the heart. And by the way, did y'all see that link that I put up? My daughter sent me a TikTok today, and she was talking about feminine energy in women, and men wanting women who are feminine. But this woman was really succinct, on point, and saying, you know, the problem is that in this culture, the way it is right now, women can't really relax into their femininity because they'll get hurt a lot of times by men, you know? So that causes women to be, you know, kind of like in defensive mode, which if you didn't see the TikTok, I have the link over on my community page, and it's only like maybe a minute or two long. It's real quick, but my God, she gets right on point with that. And my middle daughter sent it to me, and I remember when I was watching it, I was like, my God, that is so true. Greg says, Google the soccer ball. I will Google it. That sounds funny. Putin gave Trump a soccer ball with intel in it. Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that, Greg. That sounds funny. He says, look at it when you get a chance. I will. That sounds funny. How long ago was that, Greg? I don't know how I missed that news story. Greg says the chemical structure for achrome is printed on it. I don't know what to make of that. A chromosome? Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. You have to tell me, you have to clarify. But yeah, I don't know. I think that me personally, I'm trying to get prepared for the remainder of this year, because I feel like they're not gonna, yes, T. Witten, I hear you. I don't want to say that on here. Chrome. Uh-huh. Yeah. Little slow. I caught it now. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't catch it the first time around, because I don't want to say that on here, because you know that they're going to like. Sterling is saying, love your hair, by the way, looks gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff on here that we can't talk about, and that's why I'm going to be taking that stuff over to Odyssey and BitChute and see who follows me over there. I'm not expecting a lot of people to do it, like I said, because a lot of people are just going to, that's just the way it is. But the more of us that take our content over there, the more we can affect change. And I think that at the end of the day, that's the power that we have, Before I wrote my book on narcissism, I wrote a book on, basically how to start a revolution without any warfare, any voting, okay? And what I basically was saying in the book is you have to change the way you live at an individual level. Like me personally, I don't have much impact, right? I mean, none of us really do. This has been found by studies. Like most average people have little or no effect on the government system. I don't care how much they participate in these selections, right? It's the lobbyists, it's the campaign contributions that are coming in the millions and billions of dollars. It's these PACs, right? Political action committees, okay? Those are the people who are changing policy and affecting our government largely. So what if you're just a little person like me, how do you affect change? Well, you stop buying their shit, okay? You stop banking at their banks. You bank local. You do crypto. You get onto Bitcoin. You avoid the CBDCs like the literal plague, You unplug from the matrix, You start putting your content on alternative platforms. You stop buying all the pharmaceuticals. You start supporting alternative medicine and alternative healing. You decide that you're not going to put your kids in these indoctrination camps, okay? You decide that rather than get into debt to the banks to be higher miseducated, you're going to maybe encourage apprenticeship in your kids so that they learn how to run a business. They learn entrepreneurship by actually working with people who are hands-on in the business, in the industry, and can impart that to them. This is this is how you do this, right? You buy the products that are non-GMO, that are organic. You go to your local farmers markets. You buy local. You support the local farmers and the artisans and all of that. You keep your dollars local, not global. You have to change the way you live. You have to get out of, right, the conventional system. You get out, you unplug from this false paradigm that they have constructed. It's so easy for you and I to live in. They make it so easy. You have to willingly, consciously decide, I'm going to take a different path. And it's going to seem like I'm swimming upstream. I'm going against the current. I'm the weirdo. I'm the tinfoil hat wearer. But damn it, that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to be the one person in the crowd that's not wearing the mask. And I'm going to be not conflict avoidant, I'm not going to be a pushover. That's how I affect change. And the more of us who do that, who stop feeding the beast by banking at their banks, eating at their trash restaurants, buying their GMOs, buying their pesticide-laden foods, right? The more of us who do that, the more we affect change, and we support the people who are trying to do the right thing. Sorry, I'm on a rant there, but I had to go there, you know? Yeah, Greg is agreeing that I shouldn't say it out loud. Yeah, I can't. I can't say things out loud. So I'm going to tell y'all that I am going to work on this in the coming months. It's going to be a challenge with all my Aquarian placements because I just want to cut right to it, you know. But I'm going to have to start speaking in code. I've even got some, y'all going to have to maybe help me out. Like we're going to have fraud chi. And we're going to talk about health labs, you know, health labs. And we're talking about the cerveza virus, convid, or the cult of COVIDianism. We'll talk about Joey, the laptop from hell, the dawn, and the selection. And I see, I'm working on it. I'm getting my list here. I'm getting my act together. If y'all have any to add to this so that we can have our own little code speak, then I'll start. I'll eventually, it's going to be new lingo. I'm going to flow in it. I'm eventually going to get it down. Okay. And another thing I'm trying to work on is putting out some political tarot. And I know that I've been, you know, I've been saying I'm going to do it, but I'm like, I haven't totally had 100% release, but I'm inching into it. Okay. My double fixed is about to make the change. All right. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. All right. I'm going to start doing political tarot and doing it hopefully, you know, on a weekly basis, at least one a week, so that if something comes up politically, we can pull cards and see where it's going off of the cards. But again, I'm like, it's kind of a different way of reading the cards that I'm having to get comfortable with. And I've been also learning about astrology in the context of looking at astrology with the economy and the politics and all of that. So I'm transitioning, you know, into putting more content out there. I'm still going to do the relationship stuff because I know many of you follow me for that. But yeah, T. Witten saying game show, code words. That's right. We're going to get it, man. We are so going to get it. And we'll get through this. We'll get through it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off now because we got a lot of people tuning out, and I've been on for a while. So it's been good catching up with y'all, and let me know what you think in the comments below, and make sure that you are subscribed and you've activated the bell for notifications so that you can see all the stuff that I put out on my community page. And yeah, we will go live again for tarot on the 30th, God willing, which will be not this weekend, but next weekend, for that new moon in Taurus solar eclipse. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Taurus rising. This is going to be conjunct my ascendant. So I just hope that everything's okay. God willing, I'll be there for it. Okay. T-Wit says, enjoyed so much to see you. You too. Thanks for joining in, all of you. And good to see you, Greg and Maureen, some familiar names and faces. And if you're new here, Catherine Garza saying Taurus vibe. Welcome. Yeah, come back on the 30th when we go live for tarot, and I will connect with y'all again soon. Y'all be blessed. Bye-bye.